I have decided to start a YouTube channel. This is a very new thing for me, but being in this job, I think you have to bring in always some new things. So this was my next step towards getting more close to you. I was named by my brother. When I was supposed to be born, I was actually supposed to be called some other way, but then my brother had a friend, a very good friend in his kindergarten, and he wanted to name me Natasa, so my parents said yes. For those of you that you don't know, I have finished I did a bachelor in economics and finance in Bocconi in Milan, and that is why I moved to Italy. My favorite food of all times is pizza. I don't eat it quite often because I always say, okay, maybe it's not the healthiest thing ever, but when I do, that's like the best day of my life of that week. Favorite book of all times is the one about Steve Jobs. It's actually the biography. I read it 2-3 years ago, and whenever I have time, I just go and read some chapters or something that I really loved about it because it's very inspirational to me. My favorite color of all times is pink, even though sometimes I don't wear it that often, but in my opinion, pink is the best one for me, and it's most suitable for my hair, for my skin tone, for my attitude, for everything. So pink is the one that I really love. My favorite perfume of all times is Amor Amor by Cacharel. I have been using it for I don't know, I think more than 10 years now, even though lately I have been changing so much and using other ones too because I love to change. But whenever I haven't got an idea which ones to buy or to use, I always get back to this one, and it always reminds me of summer when I was 18 and when I was going for the summer on the seaside for the holidays. I don't usually cry that often. I'm very sensitive, but I don't like to cry, especially in front of other people, so I don't think you will see me crying in front of the camera ever. However, the last time I cried was for this movie I saw last week. It's The Stepmom. I love that movie because I find it very sensitive, so I cry when I watch it every time. I speak 4 languages, let's say, that is except Serbian one, so with Serbian would be 5. So I speak English fluently, I speak Italian, I speak a bit of French, of course, and Spanish. I don't know how many of you know, but I wear contact lenses for a long time now. I have been wearing it since I was 12. I've been wearing eyeglasses since I was 7. And I cannot imagine my day without contact lenses because I cannot see anything. I have been doing ballet for 8 years when I was small, so when I was 4 until I was 12, 13, because before I had to decide whether to go to regular school or a ballet school, I was doing ballet. I really loved it, and it's one of my favorite things to see in theaters now because I think it's really amazing. Every time I wake up in the morning, I cannot imagine starting my day without a coffee in my favorite cup. I'm crazy about cups, so I have many of them, but the point is I cannot start my day without making myself a coffee, having breakfast, but like in a very particular cup of the day, how I wake up. That's like my morning routine, and I really love it. I have a driving license, but I do not drive. I've done it like when I was 18, but then I moved to Italy, and when I come back to Serbia, I don't have a need to drive because I live in a city center, so I don't think you would give me your car for me to drive it, so, because I wouldn't recommend it to you. On diet, I usually don't have weight problems. I tend to gain weight if I eat too much carbs, so for that reason I'm always attentive, but I never go on a diet because for me it's too much pain, and then I always prefer to be careful in that particular moment when I eat something than to eat for a week like crazy and then have to, suffer from consequences for another 2 weeks. So I never diet. I don't have any tattoos. I don't think I will have them in the future because I don't like them that much. Only if maybe, I don't know, in some future I have something very important to me, so I would like to put it, but for now I think it's quite useless, and I think when we're older it gets a bit ugly on the skin, so I'm not a big fan. I love birthdays, birthdays of my friends. I love birthdays as a concept because I think we always need to celebrate the day we were born. I don't believe that much in the love at first sight. I think you can fall in love with a person when you listen to him or her, of course, when you pay attention, when you spend a lot of time together, and I think that's a more quality love, because I think the one that wakes up very quickly, it dies very quickly. So love at first sight is not my thing, definitely. Usually in the morning when I have to get ready, I don't take that much time. Like with the shower and the makeup, it's usually half an hour tops. And I'm very quick in getting ready because I'm not a person to stay 1 hour in the bathroom or I don't think there's a need for that. My dream destination to visit in this period would be to go to Aruba, because I would really love to visit that beach with all the flamingos, and I think it's really like a dream place. The most beautiful destination that I've ever been to is Colmar, is the city in France, and I was really amazed by the city center and the streets and how it looks, and I really thought I was in the let's say in the city of chocolate and candies. So if you ever have the opportunity, just go and do it, and I think it's really beautiful. The book that I'm reading at the moment is, although I didn't have much time to read in February, but the book that I'm reading at the moment is The Capital of the 21st Century, because I'm very interested, besides fashion, I'm very interested also in those economic things that are happening now in the world, and I think it's also very important to understand it, how it's everything developed nowadays for ourselves. The thing that inspires me the most are the successful people. That's why I love the book of Steve Jobs. I think it's very inspiring. I'm inspired when I see how other people are inspired. When I see them succeed. So for me, it's like a sign, okay, if they can do it, you can do it too. So I usually do not feel like endangered by others, because I think I have a lot of possibilities, so that's what makes me do and want more. The last film I saw was yesterday evening in the cinema. I went to the premiere for The Beauty and the Beast. It's wonderful. Go and see it and you won't regret it. I really love those types of movies. It's so romantic and it reminded me of my childhood. For those of you that you didn't know, I lived in Barcelona for 6 months when I was 22. I went to work there. I had the best time. The city is amazing. I don't know if I would go to live there again, but I would definitely go there for holidays anytime that I can, because Spain is the best place to have holidays. Concerts are my thing. I usually went, when I was younger, I went much more often. Now I don't have that much time. But I really love going to those kind of events. I went to so many concerts in my life, everywhere around the world. And the best one that I went to was in Belgrade, and it was the Rolling Stones concert for like maybe 7-8 years ago, I don't remember exactly, but it was really a spectacular thing to see, and I would definitely go once again, especially because at that point I didn't know that many songs of Rolling Stones, but I still managed to make a wonderful spectacle, so I would definitely go again. A very interesting thing about me that you probably didn't know is that I don't like Nutella. I mean, I have nothing against it, but I would never sit or wake up or say like, oh my god, I have like a cravings for Nutella at the moment. So yeah, it's not my thing. I know many of you now will think like I'm crazy, but that's how it is. And last thing, something about more personal about me is that like I'm very patient, persistent, and if I set my mind for something, I usually do not give up, which sometimes is good, but sometimes is bad, because then sometimes it finishes bad. But I'm very patient, I'm very persistent, I'm really sure about my decisions, and I usually have no doubt if I really want something. I usually work hard for it to get it. I hope you enjoyed for my first video. I think I'm gonna prepare soon my favorites, and I hope you will like it, and I hope we will enjoy it together in this journey at YouTube.